Good morning, everyone. First, okay. I'm happy to introduce Steve Doden of Goosehead Insurance. For the past 11 years, Steve has been providing personal lines, property, and casualty insurance in Concord. Stephen has lived in Pittsburgh for 19 years with his wife, Ashley, kids, Jackie, Lily, and Jude, and his pets, oddly also named Jack, Lily, and Jude. Outside the world of insurance, Stephen likes to keep things relaxed by playing video games, collecting whiskey, and hanging out with his family. Sports, however, will get his blood up. He loves watching the 49ers, Giants, Kings, and Florida Gators. Stephen dreams of attending the NCAA Final Four and championship games. Steve's sense of humor may be best exemplified by the fact that he was once thrown out of a bar on New Year's Eve for pretending to be a bouncer and checking IDs at the door. When it comes to success, Stephen follows the wisdom of Master Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try. Everyone, Steve Doden.
All right, thank you, Adam. And also thank you, Lori, for putting that together for me. I just gave her the bullet points and she put together all the words that sounded so nicely. So thank you. If you didn't like that, Jeff Wilson wrote it. Okay, so quick question. Which screen do you guys see right now? You just see the full presentation view, right?
We see both screens.
You see
both? Yeah.
We're seeing your
presenter mode does not work on Zoom.
Any better? No, probably not.
Better.
Okay, let's roll then. Running out of time already. All right. So some quick family photos, of course. Can't miss those. This is my son, Jack. He's 6.5. And my daughter, Lily, who's 4.5. And this is the newest edition. This is Jude James. He was born December 17th, so he's almost a month old now.
Cute.
And there is the family, updated family photo, I guess you could say. And I'm going to go ahead and say this is it. We're not going to go any more in case you're wondering. That's as big as it's going to get. So first up, you guys have probably seen this slide before. I've used it before, and I think it's a good illustration of why Goosehead Insurance versus the traditional agency. Traditional agency meaning essentially like a State Farm or an Allstate or Farmers type office. And so the first thing is our client loyalty scores are way, way, way higher. And that has to do with the fact that we have a lot of options. So instead of just one option, one carrier option, we have lots of options. And I'll show you those in just a little bit. And it's also because we represent the clients rather than the company. So we want to make sure that our clients are happy. They have exactly what they need for that specific risk that they have. So just a handful of some of the companies, you've probably heard of some of these. Safeco Insurance, Travelers, Progressive. We also have Nationwide is another one you've probably heard of. But we also have a whole bunch of companies that don't advertise that you've never heard of. We only work with A-rated companies, so they're financially strong, good companies. And they go through a strict vetting process too. I don't expect you to read this slide because it's very, very small. The point of this was just to show a little bit more of how many companies we offer. In total, we have, in California, we have 53 different companies that we work with to help find you the best policies available. So what are some of the things that you can refer to me? Well, pretty much any type of property. Specifically stuff that's in like high fire risk areas, we're very good on. We have a lot of options in those areas. The one I mentioned earlier that Ben referred me, to give you an example, most companies that are out there will insure a home with a fire score of 0, 1, or 2. And most other companies will not go any higher than that. There's a few that'll go to 3 or 4. This specific property was rated a 12. And so it was very challenging, but we found one that worked out. Of course, they're more expensive when they get to the high fire risk, but again, these are the different types of properties and vehicles that you can insure me. Just know that earthquake and flood insurance are always separate. So that's why I have those listed here as well. So quick case analysis. This was one I did. This was a referral, not from Adam, but from a different Duran, Jamie, if you remember him. And this customer came to me. They were paying a lot for their insurance. They actually came to me because they wanted me to shop their auto insurance. And I said, well, let's look at the home too. And come to find out, they were severely underinsured on their home. So as you can see here under the dwelling coverage, we're able to give them a lot more coverage, which is what they needed for their home. So $214 a square foot is just not enough coverage. They needed a lot more than that. And obviously, you know, there was some savings there too. I wrote down here $290 per year in savings. So it was a great win-win situation. And then this one I thought was interesting. So we are rated using a system called Net Promoter Score. Every new customer, anybody who signs up with me gets sent a survey, just asks how satisfied were you on a scale of 1 to 10 and how likely are you to refer. And so obviously always look for 10s if I can get them. And most of my reviews are 10s. This one was interesting because it says, while my premiums were way more than I wanted or expected to pay, Stephen Doden was amazing. So kind and helpful. He threw us a lifeline and went way above and beyond. Obviously, I don't like to see that they, you know, were paying more than what they wanted or expected. But again, that was one of those, that home was in the middle of Yosemite Valley, surrounded by trees. Nobody wanted to touch the thing as far as insurance goes. And so I was able to figure out a way to make it work. And that's why it was way more expensive than they wanted to pay. Some other reviews here. So there's a common theme here, and it's usually the fact that I'm able to find something and give them better coverage, more savings. I'm responsive, quick, efficient, and very professional as well. So if you know anybody who is looking to save money on their insurance, or just wanting to make sure their coverage is appropriate for what they need, that would be a great referral for me. Any questions?
No questions. I'm just going to jump in and say how absolutely amazingly awesome Steve Doden is. I was in insurance for a long time, and so I always understood the value of having a broker do insurance for my stuff, is what I call it. And Steve insures all of our stuff, and he always gets back to me quickly and always gets me better deals than everybody else has offered. So Steve and his team are really, really awesome.
Thank you.
I've been able to refer Steve very successfully because I had a great experience with him. But also I just keep my eyes peeled on Nextdoor and other places for people, especially if they're having trouble with insurance with fire zones.
Yes, you have.
I know from firsthand experience, 2 teenage drivers, 2 totaled cars later. Good job, Steve Doden. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
I have to
Appreciate
say,
your
I've
help.
met a lot of insurance agents over the years. I've been almost 26 years in this industry, and Steve is by far one of the best. Service, pricing, value, he's great. I mean, I really enjoy working with him. Thank you for your help, Steve.
Thank you, Ben.
Got a story too. My insurance company dropped me, and I needed insurance quick, or they're going to suspend my license. Steve found me a rate that was actually reasonable coverage and without killing the pocket. So really appreciate that, Steve.